Shout out Q. Shout out Q.
The Kirby on Sports podcast. I'm now joined by Carson Hammer, infielder and pitcher for the Millbrook Pioneers as a sophomore. Carson, thank you for your time. How does it feel just getting back into the swing of things? Some warm weather out here. You're getting outside more and more, just getting ready for the start of the season. How does it feel?
Feels great. I'm excited to get everything rolling and can't wait for the season.
Take me through the off season just in general. What did that consist of in order to get some more work in order to get set for the start of a new high school season?
We were as a team in the gym about January and doing some hitting and stuff like that in the gym, lifting.
And how huge is that getting together so early in the winter, just practicing on hitting and simple fundamental stuff when it comes to the start of spring? In the spring season, you sort of know you're accustomed to what everybody does, your teammates, stuff like that. How huge is that?
It builds team chemistry and knocks off all the rust and helps get everybody in a swing of things.
And just take me through just what you're looking forward to most and about the season upcoming, couple scrimmages, and then the start of the season. What are you looking forward to the most?
Just having a fun time with the guys and stuff. It all depends. I like having fun, want to win games, but having fun is the biggest thing.
How huge is it early on that there have been a lot of nice days that you've been able to maximize going outside instead of going in the gym to practice? Because I would imagine as an infielder, you can't really replicate what you can do in the gym than what you can do outside when it comes to infield work.
It helps a lot being outside more than in the gym, and these nice days, it definitely benefits the whole team because being inside compared to outside, big difference.
And just what's it like just getting back together with the group of guys you were with last year, and what's it like sort of having some newer guys come up as well?
It's good to see new faces, and with the returning cast and all, hopefully we can do what we did last year and potentially be better.
Carson, appreciate your time, buddy, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Now joining me, junior on the Millbrook Pioneers baseball team, Dylan Apfel. Dylan, thank you for your time. Just take me through what it's like being back. Beautiful weather. We have a JV scrimmage currently going on outside, but what's it like just getting outside, maximizing your time and the team's time outside early on?
It's great. It's great to be a part of this team. This is a really good team, and I feel like if we can keep being outside in these nice warm weathers, we're continuously getting better every single day.
Take me through. You pitch, you catch, you play infield. You can do it pretty much all. How huge is that when it comes to high school baseball, where you're knowledgeable in different positions on the field, where you may be asked to do one thing one night, another position the other night, if you will? And I'm just saying that, but what's it like being knowledgeable in all different aspects of the game?
It's pretty different. I kind of like just being able to move around in every way. I like to be able to benefit the team and make sure that we have someone at every position to be better successful as a team.
Take me through your offseason. What did that look like in your mind in terms of preparation? I know the team got in around January, started hitting in the cage and stuff, but what was the offseason like for you before you got with the team together to start working?
It was pretty hard because we have a basketball team that is pretty good. They went to the regionals in basketball, but we had to fight through adversity just to even get gym time, even though since it was cold. I felt like we got better as a team in the off season to be able to come out here in this nice warm weather and be better as a team.
And as an infielder, I asked Carson the same question, just in terms of the infield work. You can't really replicate that indoors. How huge is it that you're getting outside early on to get those real-time reps in a sense?
It's a lot better just to be out on the field as a team. The grass is a lot different here at Millbrook High School. Everyone knows that. But to be in the gym, it's a lot different to be coming out here on the field and just getting live reps.
As a junior on this team, can you sort of take me through the thoughts from last season and maybe something you're trying to take out of last season to build to get even better on to work on for this season early on?
I feel like our team chemistry this year is a lot better than it has been my 2 years here. We have really good relationships throughout our seniors, juniors, and sophomores, and I feel like if we keep that up, that's going to help us win a lot of games and be better successful in life.
You mentioned team chemistry when it comes to the baseball season. I would imagine getting that team chemistry right together early on is huge. How huge is that in your mind when it comes to knowing what your other players do, tendencies, so on and so forth, when it comes to the start of the season, and you all are on the same page essentially?
It's good to be on the same page as a whole team, because if we're not on the same page, you can't do anything. There's no I in team. There's always team, and we got to win as a team.
Absolutely, and just first year with Coach Jenkins after Coach Burke. What's that like having Coach Jenkins as your pitching coach last year, but he's moved up to the head coach this year? What's his leadership meant to you?
His leadership's really good. I feel like he is a great, hard coach, and he's on us for a good reason, because he wants us to get better every single day. And that even though Burke ended up deciding to not be with us anymore, it's still a great way that we had a pitching coach to be able to work with me, Devin, and a bunch of the other pitchers on the team. And
you mentioned pitching. I'm just curious on in terms of when it comes to pitching, just in general, and you're a catcher too, so I would imagine from both ways, how huge is that to have a good relationship with your pitcher and catcher and vice versa when it comes to you're on the mound and he's calling pitches or however the pitches may be called, and you got to get in a rhythm and make sure you're pitching the best game possible?
It's good to be on the same page, because if you're on the same page with your pitcher, you can be able to know what they're going on through their head and what they like to throw in that situation, especially if you're catching and pitching. It kind of helps when you need to learn that as well on the mound.
And just last but not least, what are you looking forward to most in exciting baseball season ahead? It's always exciting getting out to play spring sports in a very competitive area when it comes to baseball, at least in my mind.
It's just great to be out on the field with this team. I'm very happy with this team. I feel like we have a lot of good chemistry, and we can go very far if we know how to make the fundamental plays and just be a team.
Dylan, really appreciate your time with me on the Kirby on Sports podcast, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Devin Reed now joining me, a senior on this Millbrook Pioneers team. Devin, thank you for your time first and foremost. Just take me through how does it feel getting back into the swing of things early on, and you're a senior. I would imagine some emotions play a part. Just take me through what you're feeling right now, getting ready for the start of a new baseball season.
Yes, sir. It's awesome out here. Great weather finally. So it's good to be on the field, get back into the swing of things, and I've missed it a lot.
I've asked your your two teammates I interviewed prior, but just in terms of the nice weather, taking advantage of the time outside instead of inside in a gym, how huge is that?
It's really big. Of course, we had a lot of time in the gym. We really had to maximize all that we could, put 100% effort into everything. And now being out on the field, it's a little bit different, but, we're still trying to get through it, and we're going to keep going.
Absolutely. So just take me through your off season before you got into the gym hitting with your team. What did that look like in order to prepare for the season upcoming in just a couple days?
Yes, sir. So a lot of gym time, a lot of getting bigger, stronger, more athletic, faster, and just building team chemistry with our players.
How huge is that as a senior to see maybe some newcomers coming up to the program and some returners? As a senior, I would imagine you're maybe one of the vocal leaders on the team. But what's that like, sort of guiding the younger kids in a sense in terms of what's expected out of Coach Jenkins' program, Millbrook baseball in general? What's that like?
It's exciting to see the new faces, a lot of new players, a lot of young players. So just getting them the experience they need, pushing them to do their best, and that's all that matters.
And the team chemistry aspect to get, together so early and on the same page together, so what's going on come the start of the season. How huge is that early on to have such good chemistry?
It's a big part in the game. If we're all on the same page, we all got each other's back. No matter what, we faced it together, and hopefully we can win some games doing that.
Absolutely. And when it comes to just take me through having Coach Jenkins first year as the head coach, but he's been with this program for quite some time. What does that mean to have him as the head coach? It seems like he's such a great leader for this Pioneers baseball team.
Absolutely. He pushes us to the max, always wants us to give 100% effort. And I think we really need that, especially this year, really give it all.
And just last but not least, as a senior on this team, just being around the area, the competition in this area is huge. Just in your mind, how huge is the competition in this area when it comes to baseball? Just not on the field, but it seems like great attendance and just great support across the board.
Yeah, the competition around here is really nice. It's very fun, very exciting. Everybody loves the baseball season. It's warm outside, and it's going to be a fun season.
Absolutely. Really appreciate your time with me today on the Kirby on Sports podcast, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Now joining me, first-year head coach of the Millbrook Pioneers baseball team, Scott Jenkins. Coach, it's a pleasure to be joined by you. Thanks for having us out first and foremost. And just what's it like taking the reins of this Pioneers baseball program? I know you've been here for quite some time as the pitching coach, but now as the head coach, what's that like?
Well, first of all, thank you for coming out and doing this. It's good to see local support and drive the local support. We need the fans to come out and support us. The kids love it when the stands are packed, and thank you for doing this. But taking over the program, I'm just trying to build on what the success we've had. We've been ultra successful Brian's 15 years here. Just trying to build on that and grow.
And how huge is that you're still in touch with him, you still talk to him, and you are together on the baseball field when it comes to the Winchester Royals? How huge is that he's there in case you have anything for him in a sense?
Sure. I mean, it's awesome to have him and some other coaches in the area. You can always bounce ideas off of them, run practice plans by them, do those kind of things, situations that come up. It's awesome to have guys that have been through it, have done it, and just lean on them a little bit.
So, Coach, just take me through your players are mentioning team chemistry and how they're getting in the gym early January to get to work with you and your program. How huge is that with the support of the players that want to come out and play for you early on? And how does that help in a sense when it comes to now they're sort of ready to go in a sense? What is that like from the off season to now?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is set expectations. We always need to get bigger, stronger, faster. So when they get in the gym and they get in there and they realize the expectations that are both on the field and in the gym working out, whether it's inside taking ground balls or in the cages in there, we're setting the tone for the season, and we're just trying to improve every day. 1% better is all we can do.
So with that too, when it comes to the start of spring, your tryout period, first couple days of practice, gorgeous weather. I would imagine you and your team took full advantage of being outside, because I would imagine with your experience in baseball, nothing can replicate reps than being on an actual baseball field instead of in the gym.
Yeah, this is the first year in 6 years we've gotten 2 scrimmages in before our season starts. So, we learned a lot of things. We put guys in positions that they weren't necessarily accustomed to, just to see what and how it flowed. I'm trying to find the best 9 guys to give us wins, be competitive as we can. No expectations for the year, just trying to get better every day.
And you mentioned the scrimmages. When you look at a scrimmage and the 3 players I talked to, you have them in different positions. How huge is that for you and a coaching staff to sort of look and be like, hey, I might be able to use him here, and sort of evaluate out of scrimmages what works best when it comes to the regular season?
Well, it's about finding who can play where, because we have a small roster to begin with, so we don't have pitcher onlys right now. I mean, we'd love to get back to that. In the past, we have, but right now we have to figure out guys who can play multiple positions, because we have limited roster spots. So guys are going to have to pitch one day and maybe play short the next day, and maybe play catch the next day, and maybe play left field the next day. So the more well-rounded the kids can be, and that's where we got to find out as a coaching staff during those scrimmages, and even when we're inter-squad and here in the nice days, we got to figure out who can do what.
And when it comes to your experience as a pitching coach, and you see that you have pitchers that are not just pitcher only, as you mentioned. Just what is that like as a pitching coach, and how do you sort of manage or handle that when you have a pitcher who threw a good amount of games and then the next day they're playing infield, outfield, what you just mentioned?
Well, you got to be careful. I mean, certainly arm injuries are on top of everybody's list. We're trying to keep the kids healthy as much as we can. You know, we limit them early in the season and the pitch counts. We try to build them up as best we can to get them to the full, 110 pitches. But yeah, you got to keep an eye on it, because if you don't, then you're down another guy. So and again, I mentioned the limited roster spots and limited season, or the limited team kids we have on the team. It's tough. If you have a kid go down, let's say you have 14 kids, you have a kid go down with an injury, now you're down to 13. You have a guy that throws 110 pitches and sort of the next day, really then you're down to 11. So you're playing with a very small roster, so you have to watch it.
Absolutely. So just the makeup of your team this year, talking your three guys, it seems like they're ready to go play for your program. Just overall, your early thoughts on some of the players that returning or some of the newcomers, what have you seen so far?
Well, we're young. My expectations are just to get 1% better every day, or at least progress. We have to progress. We may not come out gangbusters today or tomorrow or Monday when we start. The idea is that we're going to get better every day. Every game we're going to progress, and hopefully by the end of the year it turns into wins. And that's all as a coach it's all as a coaching staff that we can do.
And bringing on another familiar face to your coaching staff, and Wyatt Potter has helped you out with the Winchester Royals. How huge is that, another familiar face that you've worked with in the past when it comes to building this coaching staff here?
Yeah, Wyatt was with us last year, so now he's taken over pretty much our infield stuff and most of our hitting. He's doing a bang-up job in the gym, in the weight room with his guys, getting them bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic. And that's really where we got to go. When you have a limited roster, limited lineup, you got to be multifaceted. You got to be able to play multiple positions, and that takes athleticism. So, I mean, kudos to Wyatt. He's done a phenomenal job bringing his experience with the Shenandoah Valley, I can't even say it, Shenandoah Valley Baseball Ranch, and bringing what he has over there with him and Daryl, and bringing just a little bit of it to us is only a win.
And when it comes to the growth of baseball in this area, Shenandoah Valley Baseball Ranch, just as an example, it seems like the growth is trending up when it comes to baseball in this area. Can you just provide some detail on your thoughts on that and what your thoughts are on the growth of baseball around here?
Well, I'm not sure there's a growth of baseball. I think that we're getting more developed in baseball. I mean, actually, I think our numbers are way down from, say, pre-COVID. We were 45 kids trying out pre-COVID. Now we're 28, 29. So, we need to do a better job of, as a coaching staff, and my plan is to go out into the community, go to the Little League games, go to the travel ball games, and make sure I know who the kids are before they ever get here. Build those relationships with them in the community so that we can get our numbers back up. I want kids to come out and play baseball at Millbrook High School.
And when it comes to your players who might want to play at the next level, I know you and I know your connections are very big. When it comes to the VBL, you have connections with college coaches to bring players to come play for the Royals. Do you think that sets sort of an edge, being with your experience and your connections, when it comes to maybe if your players, hypothetically, if they want to go play at the next level? And what are your thoughts on that, and just having that with all the connections in baseball for you?
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt, but as being a former recruiting coordinator, you got to set eyes on kids. You can take word of mouth, and you can take suggestions from high school coaches and Legion coaches and that kind of thing, but you're still going to want to get eyeballs on the kid, and you're going to make your own determination. I can certainly get them in the ballpark, or I can get them connected, but it's up to the kids to perform. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is they got to be in the weight room, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster, and being more athletic. And then they got to come out here in between the white lines and perform.
And, Coach, when it comes to the high school season, what are maybe sort of the differences from coming out here at high school season in comparison to a VBL season? I know college and high school, but the differences of the game just in between the white lines, as you said, what are some of the differences in your mind?
Well, the game in the VBL level and the college level is certainly faster. It's a job. It's a full-time job for those guys, whether it's Division III, JUCO, Division I. They get them a lot more than we do. We're limited to our season. Yeah, we can do a lot of off-season stuff, but I think one of the kids mentioned earlier in one of the interviews that, gym space is tight. We don't have an outdoor facility. We have to be creative in how we get work done. But overall, I think that the game is faster because, you think about it. You're a big fish in a small pond here. You go to, say, Shenandoah or to JMU or to Virginia Tech, and there's a lot of big fishes, right? And the pond gets really, really bigger. So everyone was really good. So the talent pool is so much better. So it's gonna be faster. So that's the biggest difference. Is just they put in more work. They're regimented. They take it as a full-time job. This may be the last time some of these kids ever put on a baseball uniform or throw a baseball or swing a bat. When you're dealing with college kids, they're looking to go to that next level. This is what they've decided their career path is going to be. Most of them won't make it, but at least they're investing the time and doing everything they can, and they're taking it seriously. I wish that's the one thing I wish we could do here more is have our kids 40 hours a week and having them 6-hour practices. And not that I would ever do that, but that's what it would take, right? To fully invest. I tell kids all the time. And my son, for example, I told him, high school baseball is the greatest time of your life. It's the easiest time of your life. When you get to college baseball, it's going to be a full-time job. That's all you're going to do. Yes, you have classwork and you expect to be a good student because you're a student athlete. But, man, it's a full-time job. And then if you go on to the next level after that, you're getting paid for that job, So that's the biggest differences I see between high school and, say, college baseball or the VBL.
So in terms of the local area, correct me if I'm wrong here, Coach, but I spoke to Kevin Anderson, head coach at Shenandoah, and Bridgeforth is being open to the local high schools for a sort of invitational tournament on Bridgeforth Field during spring break. That's never happened before. Can I just get your thoughts on what that's like to have a tournament in this area when you're facing sort of opponents you're not usually used to facing?
Well, so Kevin and I got together probably last fall and discussed the idea of doing something like that to allow us, for me to bring my kids to a college campus, to see the facilities, to step on and see that size of a facility. And they're a top 25 nationally ranked program year in and year out. So to get our kids over there and get them experienced on that place. And then it also, on the flip side of that, allows them to watch, say, 6 high school teams on their field locally, so they don't have to travel. And I think it's a win-win for both of us. I think it's exciting. We'd love to grow it. I think, can't speak for Kevin, but I'd love to grow that thing into a full week-long tournament with 15 or 20 or 25 teams and have it be a showcase event for both Shenandoah University and Frederick County baseball as a whole and Millbrook baseball.
And with that too, sort of differing opponents you're not used to seeing playing on Shenandoah's turf. I know it's way far out there, but are you preparing now for what it's like when your kids have to play on the turf in a sense? Because I know the difference in the grass game and the turf game is pretty substantial.
Well, not really. I mean, it's just a little faster, but you're going to get true hops. We've scrimmaged over there. Kevin was gracious enough to let us come over and do a scrimmage last week, so we've played on it. I know some of the other high schools have practiced on it. He's offered it up to us if we want to come over under the lights and practice. So we'll be prepared when we get over there. And yeah, it's nice. It's going to be a good thing to see different guys than we're used to. Playing the same old teams gets boring. So we'd like to interject some new blood into our schedule, to play as many different teams as we can, grow it. And heck, I'd even love to go down and pull teams from the Harrisonburg area or even Maryland and states north. So see how it is. Hopefully it'll grow.
And last but not least, with your experience coaching in the Northwestern District in this area, what's it like just battling against teams in this area and just the competition around here alone?
Well, the competition is phenomenal. I mean, all the teams in this area, James Wood, Shenandoah, Hanley, they're always competitive. They're always well coached. It's a dogfight. We have to be prepared. We know each other very well. I mean, yeah, the kids change, but the coaches know the coaches. We know their tendencies, and they know our tendencies, and we have to prepare for that. So, I mean, it's always a battle.
And when it comes to your schedule and your season, a couple years ago, the VHSL changed it, the region changed it up rather, and every game carries more weight. I know you're out there to win every game, Coach. Don't get me wrong there, but it adds more weight because there's no Northwestern District tournament. Just your thoughts on that, and does that change how you prepare your kids when it comes to every game matters?
No, I mean, because we're always trying to win every game. We're always trying to put the best 9 guys out there, give us the chance to win. So, no, it doesn't really change how we approach it. I liked the Northwest District having a district among itself, and that district winner getting an automatic berth. Not a fan, but we have to play with the cards we're dealt, and so that means we have to put up a winning percentage. And there's 7 teams. We got to be one of the top 5, and that's our goal.
Millbrook Pioneers baseball right around the corner. Always a pleasure catching up with first-time head coach Scott Jenkins. Coach, really appreciate your time out here and looking forward to catching some more games and working with you all season.
Absolutely. Thanks. Appreciate it, Josh.